What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Want to do a quick review on the last episode of All Access Mayweather-Guerrero. I really enjoyed the series. Kudos to Showtime for putting on a good series. I was actually apprehensive a little bit because I've always been used to the HBO 24/7 series, so I didn't know how they would play out. But I really thoroughly enjoyed them. It seemed like as the weeks went on with the All Access, and as we get closer to the fight, the way they staged it and the way they set up the storylines for each, they kept getting better and better to me, and I just enjoyed them. The first one was probably the least amount of action. Then the next week they had a little bit more action, and then the next week they had a little bit more action. So I liked how they kind of crescendoed, and I really liked the series. So I look forward to see some of the other big fights do it all access, and props to Showtime for that. As far as this episode, again, it's the week before the fight. They showed Mayweather, he was having a barbecue. I guess that's something he started a few years ago after training camp wraps, just to get all of his team, the money team, together and go into it with good spirits. Robert Guerrero's family came from Gilroy, California to Las Vegas, so they were reunited. That was good to see. They showed Guerrero's wife, and they showed the wife's, um, I guess, stance having a husband to fight her. She started crying. That was a touching moment. Just, I mean, I'm sure a lot of, I've seen them, like Jinky Pacquiao, Cotto's wife, when they're getting lumped up in there. It's a scary thing for the families and the wife. So I like how Showtime touched on that aspect of it. Um, she wants to stand by her man, but I know she knows what he's up against, a tall order, someone who hasn't lost in 17 years against Mayweather. But we'll see what happens. I've already made my prediction. A lot of you guys have left comments and left your prediction, so we'll see who's right, and check in May 4th at night after the fight happens. It's May Day, as Floyd Mayweather likes to call it. Again, a good series, all access. Ruben Guerrero is just, I mean, I don't have no problem with him, but he says some weird shit, like dumb shit. They were watching tape of Mayweather. They watched the Cotto fight, which everyone wants to go to. Look at the Cotto fight and try to get a game plan because Cotto was able to have some success or able to hit Mayweather more than we expected. So a lot of people call that, and then Ruben Guerrero's watching it, and he's like, "Oh, you see that right there? You see that? He almost knocked him out." Like saying Cotto almost knocked Mayweather out. And I've seen that fight multiple times. It's been a while, to be honest, since I watched it, but there was never any point in that whole fight where I thought Mayweather was about to get knocked out. Cotto landed some good shots. Cotto gave a spirited effort. Cotto bloodied Mayweather's nose. Um, Cotto made Mayweather realize that he had come up in weight. Cotto made Mayweather work. I'm okay with any of those statements, but to say Cotto almost knocked Mayweather out, where? What round was that? Because I don't remember any point in that fight where I honestly felt Mayweather was in supreme danger. I even remember watching the Shane Mosley fight live, and I'm like, damn, this dude's in round two. Mayweather was in trouble. He got hurt twice in that round. So I don't know what Ruben Guerrero was talking about as far as that. Um, the other thing that troubles me with Ruben Guerrero, and sometimes religion, and I'm not going to make this a whole religious, I'm not blasphemous or atheist, so I'm not going to get into all kinds of religion, but sometimes when people are really religious, they tend to be the most judgmental people on the planet. And to me, in my understanding of the Bible, I think the only person that was perfect was Jesus, and that can never be duplicated. So for some of the religious buffs to constantly criticize what other people are doing and say they're not living the right life, to me, only God can judge me. So who's Robert Guerrero or Ruben Guerrero to say that Mayweather's lifestyle is or isn't up to par? I mean, when Mayweather has to stand in front of the Lord, or if you believe in that, if when Mayweather has his judgment day, if you will, um, Ruben Guerrero, Robert Guerrero, their opinions aren't going to matter. It's going to be him and his God, and that's it. So I just don't understand why so many people are religious, tend to be the most judgmental people ever. And the funny thing with this is Ruben Guerrero has been to jail. He's been to prison. And Robert Guerrero's constantly talking about, they just recently, today I believe, Ruben Guerrero said that Mayweather's a wife beater at the final press conference or whatever it was. He said he's a wife beater and blah blah blah. And in this episode, Robert Guerrero was saying when Mayweather started, he was a humble guy and he got money and he got success and whoop de whoop, and all of a sudden it changed him, changed who he was, and now he's this villain, he's this bad person. But your pops was in jail, so what makes him a saint? I mean, and he was in jail longer than Mayweather was in jail. Mayweather was in jail for a few months, 2 months, 3 months. Your pops was in jail for longer. So, what makes him so special? Where he's given a pass or he's relinquished of any sins he's committed, yet Mayweather's this bad guy. I don't really understand that. I don't like hypocrisy, so I call it out when I see it. Other than that, I don't know what people think. I'm not just saying this because I've said it. You can call me a flomo. I mean, I'm a grown man, so that doesn't affect me. I'm not a flomo. I like boxing. I like it. I like Floyd Mayweather. He's entertaining, and I like his skill set. So you can say whatever you want about me. But other than that, people act like this man is just one way all the time. Like burning money is the only thing he contributes, and then they don't bring up the fact that I believe he has paid for the funerals of many famous boxers or paid a portion of it. I think Gennaro Hernandez, Arturo Gatti, and the other person, Joe Frazier, and I believe Diego Corrales. I believe he paid for his funeral. I mean, I don't know if you guys know anything about death or obituaries or whatnot. Funerals are very expensive, and just because Mayweather has all the money in the world or whatever, that doesn't mean that he has to pay for their funeral. When he signed a contract to fight Diego Corrales or Arturo Gatti, two people who at the time were favored to beat him, I believe. People, even if they weren't favored to beat him, people thought they had great chances to beat him. It was a very competitive betting odds, I guess you could say. So I'm pretty sure it wasn't in the contract, yo, if I beat you, I have to pay for your funeral in the future. Like, that's not part of the contractual. It's not like, yeah, right next to, you see where it says rematch clause? You have to also agree to pay for my funeral. Like, they don't have life insurance policies in boxing like that. So that's commendable. And again, I don't know if you guys know the severity of a funeral and what it entails and how much money it costs, but he did that out of respect. Truth be told, rest in peace, Diego Corrales, huge warrior. Arturo Gatti, huge warrior. Nothing but the utmost respect for them as fighters. They put on classic matches. They left this earth too soon. But Mayweather fucked them up. Like, Mayweather, when they fought, Mayweather blasted him. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he lost to these guys and then out of respect he paid for their funeral. I mean, he was like demolishing these guys, and he later paid just out of pure respect for what they've given to the boxing sport, for giving him an opportunity because they had big names or giving him a chance. So I mean, that's tremendous. So I don't understand why people make Mayweather sound like he's just some animal and Hannibal Lecter. I once was a caretaker who tried to test me. I just lived with some fava beans. Like, I don't know. People try to act like he's just this devil. And one thing that Roger Mayweather, he's always funny to me. Roger Mayweather, this is unrelated, but one time on ES News, Sekback asked Roger Mayweather, he said, what do you think about Gennady Golovkin? That's how Ellie Sekback said it. And he said, who? And he said, that sound like motherfucking candy bar. He said Gennady Golovkin sounds like the name of a candy bar. That shit was hilarious. But on today's All Access, Roger Mayweather said, shit, Guerrero got a better chance of going to hell than fucking with Floyd. I don't know. That shit was funny when he said he has a better chance of going to hell than to fuck with my nephew. Good episode. I liked how they made it really tense and fast paced. They kind of had like a dubstep music at the very end. Really got me amped up. I've always wanted to see the fight. Some people complain it's mandatory opponent. I don't see what the complaint is. Robert Guerrero has one loss, two if you count Orlando Salido, who tested positive for PEDS. He has a chin at the very least. He had two solid performances as a welterweight. I don't see what the big deal is, why people are so against it. It's like they're trying to line up their excuses. But whoever wins, Please don't line up. Oh, it's because he had gun charges, so his mind was elsewhere. Oh, he's not a full-fledged welterweight, so that's the reason. You have to keep in mind that this guy has one loss on his career. He was in there with Andre Berto, someone who at one time was a feared puncher in welterweight. I mean, he's known for power, and he never even got knocked down. So whatever happens, if Mayweather is able to stop him some kind of way, or if that's what unfolds, I mean, you got to give them credit. If Robert Guerrero beats Mayweather, then he etched his name in history as the first guy to do it. So give whoever wins props, as long as it's barring no bullshit decision or no crazy shit happens. Other than that, I'm really looking forward to the fight. Ruben Guerrero says some crazy things. This son of a, what he said, this piece of shit. Nobody X's out my son. Then he X's him out. I don't know. Ruben Guerrero just says weird things to me. That's basically the episode. Make sure you guys check it out. If you have Showtime and you missed it, check it out. It's definitely worth the watch. And it's fight night. I can't wait. So let me know what you guys think of this fight. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing out.